All right, everybody, I'm going to walk you through how to create a blackout poem that we did in class. The first thing you're going to do is go to modules, click on week 10, and select Wednesday, Thursday. Then you're going to click on our lesson, which will take you to our slideshow for the day. So I want you to go to slide number 5, which will have 3 different options for you. The first one is different examples of what your poetry can look like. Do not do this one. We talked about that as a bad example. But you're going to create a blackout poem that has imagery that's attached to it. So this gives you some ideas of what I'm looking for. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to choose a page. You're going to select this and make a copy. And like always, I want you to put your copy immediately before you do anything else. I want you to put it into your reading folder. So we're going to wait for this to load until this button pops up. And then we're going to select read and move. Okay. So now we have something to work off of. So I'm going to pull this over real quick. Sorry. And you're going to pick a page over here that you want to work off of. I've picked this one right here. And the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to scan it. You're not going to read the whole page. You're just going to look for words that pop out at you. And you're going to use a text box to box in the words that stand out. So words that stand out to me is grandma. So I'm going to change the color of this to red so that it really stands out, okay? So I'm just going to kind of make that a little bit bigger. Let's see, what else? I think the word monster stands out to me right here. I like the word, the phrase a terrible, so I'm going to choose that one too. Let's see. Blurring is a good word, so I'm going to pull that one. Heavy is a good word, so I'm going to pull that one. Let's see. So you're just going to do this until you have picked out enough, until you've done the whole poem. So just give me another second here. You can fast forward this if you want, but it'll take me just a moment to kind of pick out the words that I'm wanting to use. I am going to pull a connector word here for future purposes. And word, let's see, here. I like the word mindlessly down there is a good one. Mindlessly, let's see, what else stands out? I like the word screamed. And you're just going to do this all the way down the poem until you until you reach the bottom, essentially. And I really like this phrase. Now, don't do this often. I rarely suggest doing a full phrase like that. A word or two next to each other is fine, but very rarely do a large portion like that, especially if it's a small page. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of read through this, kind of get the feel of it, and then add connector words. So I have grandma's. Now you're going to read it just like you would a book. So grandma's monster, a terrible, blurring, heavy moment, immediately struck and roared. Mindlessly screamed hoarse is how destruction is done. Okay, so I'm liking this because it kind of has a feel to it. But what I need to do is I need to add some connector words. I already added one right here using the word and. Heavy moment, immediately struck and roared, so that it kind of flows together. I do need some connector words down here because it sounds a little choppy. So I'm going to say mindlessly. I'm going to search for words like I'm going to go with the word it. Since we're talking about a monster, mindlessly it screamed. I'm actually going to pull this second word until as my connector word. Screamed until hoarse. Screamed until hoarse is how to. So I need another connector word. So let's see. And I'm going to lean on branch. No. Okay, I'm going to pick this word down here. That is how destruction is done. Okay, so I'm going to read through this real quick. Grandma's monster, a terrible, blurring, heavy moment, immediately struck and roared. Mindlessly, it screamed until hoarse. That is how destruction is properly done. Okay, that has a good feel to it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on my blackout. So I'm going to pick a text box and I'm going to fill this section right here like that. And then there's a paint can up here that I'm going to select black. Okay. And you're just going to do this until you have blacked out the majority of the poem, all the words except for the ones that you selected. Make sure that you don't cover any of the words that you picked, because then that will make things super difficult. So I'm going to keep doing this until I've got a fairly good feel for it. Okay, so now I have gone in and I have blacked out everything, just leaving the words that I want to use, sorry. And now what I want to do is I want to pull in some pictures that help give me some kind of imagery. So we're talking about monsters, screaming. So I'm thinking that I kind of want to pull in maybe some kind of creepy, like maybe like a black and white monster, something that kind of adds to that mood that I'm trying to pull. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull up in Google and I'm just going to type in black and white monsters. And I'm going to go to images. And I'm going to scroll down until I find something maybe that kind of stands out to me here. Let's see. Oof, some of these are creepy. Okay, maybe. Oh no, okay, here. So I like this one. This one actually kind of works with what I'm wanting to go for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this image to my desktop. And I'm going to go back to my poem. So it's actually just chilling right here. So I'm going to pull this photo over. As you can see, it's blocking. It's going to block all of my all of my words, which is something that I don't want to have them do. So I'm going to click on my image and select Format, Format Options, Adjustments, and now I have Transparency. So I can actually make this a little more see-through, kind of like that, so that you can only see it in the background, which kind of makes it fun and creepy. But I don't really like that I have all this blank space here. So I'm actually going to look for maybe something else that would help. I think I'm going to look for maybe, when I think of these monsters, I think of something like vines that kind of pull up. So I actually found this picture here, and I'm going to just copy it over real quick. Okay, so originally it was actually a lot less transparent. So this is what it originally looked like. And obviously that's not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is, again, I'm gonna click Format, Format Options to Adjustment, and I'm gonna do the Transparency. I'm gonna make it so that it's just a little bit darker like that. I actually wanna bring this one forward. So I'm gonna hit Order, bring to front like that. And maybe move him around just a little bit because I like the idea of having her face there. So I'm gonna move him down there. Okay, now I'm gonna take a look at it and see. All right, so that is how you create a blackout poem. You then would copy and paste that into your poetry portfolio. So I hope that helps you guys.